Yo, yo, good evening, folks. How y'all doing? Bulls on Wall Street here. Yeah, decent week in the markets. It didn't feel like it. It was treacherous. Up day, down day, up day, down day, which makes it pretty tricky when you're trying to get a direction in the market, which is, if you're swing trading and things like that, obviously you want to be holding stocks that you think are going to be going in a certain direction. And so that type of, green day, red day, green day, red day, green day makes it real tricky. So the market was up a 0.5% last week in terms of the S&P 500, but there were some shakedowns. After the big rip down on Thursday, who knows? There could have been some follow through, and maybe it tested the 50-day moving average, and as has been the custom, we rip back to the upside. That's been kind of what this market's been doing. So it's been a little bit directionalist this month. But there have been tons of trading opportunities. If you're a day trader and you don't get shaken out in those kind of some of the false moves that may happen in the morning, there's been tons of opportunity and volatility and speculative money flying into stocks that still allow you to really capture some explosive gains. But on the swing trade side, it's a much more choppy endeavor. And I personally, right now, till maybe we got a breakout or so, probably wouldn't load up on too many swings or a deeper pullback because we're kind of just right now just a little bit in the chop zone. So that's kind of where we're seeing the market right now. You don't know what's going to happen next week. I'll tell you what though, this market in absence of news, right? In absence of news, like Thursday we had the airplane stuff. In absence of news, it tends to want to grind higher. So whenever you're thinking about the market in terms of a vacuum, the trend has been higher and higher. But when we do get some news and some uncertainty, we do get that excuse for a sell-off, which is what kind of happens now. But we're pretty close to highs. We've had a nice bounce here, and so kind of our best case scenario if you're a bull is to clear these highs and really make a go at it. As we've been consolidating for a month, kind of the neutral case, or probably most likely scenario for the coming week is that we just kind of chop around a little bit for a little bit longer. We've got really these nice supports down here in the, kind of the 1960, 1950 zone up in here. And so we've got a little bit of a channel that we might just move around in. And then really kind of the bearish case scenario for me would be that we take out last week's lows. And if that happens, then we would probably see a test of the 50-day moving average. And, that's when things get a little bit dicey. As you guys know, it's really been the Russell 2000 that's been the weak one of the group. And so, this is something that we need to watch. We did get a big bounce on it on Friday. But once again, it just kind of took us into a level of resistance here. So now we need to see if we thrust past this level. And if we can, then we might make a run to the 20-day moving average. And that's kind of, our best case scenario. Really, the worst thing that we want to see happen is, right, we reverse Friday's gains, take out these lows, and that puts us right back into this huge monster support zone at 1100. And, we can only come down here and test this level so many times before things get a little bit more juicy. But we do have, we are a little bit oversold, and we do have some oomph to bounce here, especially with the rest of the market holding up. But that's one of the things that you want to be watching here is the Russell. Let's take a look at the watch list, and then we'll go from there. So I've got Tower Semiconductor on watch here. After this key flat top breakout, we're just taking we're just flagging here. Probably needs a few more days. But if the market starts to go, I do expect this one to make a nice move. Uso's been a nice trader for us. Keep it on watch. One thing I will say is I'm not really that long biased on it necessarily, just for the fact that the last 2 days we've traded and we've cut some nice rips in it, but it tends to spike up and then it gives a big chunk of the gain back, and so you got to be a little bit careful with that and make sure you flip things around quickly. DMD, I'm watching for a $5 roll. That'll also take a break over the 200-day moving average. XGTI, this stock's been just chilling here. It might need a catalyst. It tends to run on PRs, but it does seem like it's got the juice here where it's setting up for a run. I just think it's going to need some type of PR catalyst to set it off, and that could come any day. It tends to, they do tend to get popped about once a month on this bad boy. Eagly, another one that I'm watching here. We're just basing out. It might need a little bit more time, but watch and see if it ever breaks 2. You're going to start to see some real buying flood into this bad boy. UNXL, this stock is really, really cool. If it tries to break and then pulls back, it's going to go any day. It's just a matter of when, and it's going to need some volume to really get going. EMES, this is an oil stock that's just been really, really chilling here under 110. If it makes a move over that, this thing should break out to new highs. DDD, I like this one for, if the market's bullish. This one is really, really holding this kind of 55 level here that's been pretty important here. And you can tell it's just basing out for a run. And when it clears out this zone, you'll see it run back to 65 on it. ZAG, after that big, big push a few weeks ago, just starting to consolidate here. I like this one to come out of this range and get back to 6. LITV, I'll only play this if I start to see Chinese stocks go. If I do, then we have a really, really easy stop placement on this bad boy and a lot of potential rewards. But once again, we would need some sector help or small caps running, low floaters running, things of that nature. SPLK, another one. It looks like it's a bear flag, but it also kind of looks like it's bottoming out too. If it rips and holds above this 20-day moving average, we could see a potential, or this 50-day moving average, we could see a potential run into this, to 50, 51. If not, if the market starts to really, really crack, then we've got, an easy-go-lucky bear flag that we can short. VHI, same type of deal. After this monster push, we've had a really, really tight, low-volume pullback. It's oversold. Could get some juice there. App is another one. Might need a couple more days here, but after this initial push, we are having a low volume, kind of easy-go-lucky pullback on this one. Zillow, after this just monster run, out of its breakout patterns, pulled all the way back to the 50-day moving average. The one thing I don't like on this is that, I didn't like the volume pattern on the pullback, so it's probably not something I'd hold overnight, but I would watch it for day trades and for potential bounces up to the level. It's not heavy distribution, but definitely you don't want to see the volume pattern kind of lean in that favor. GWPH, another one that it's holding at the 50-day moving average, and I expect some more upside in this one too. And X1, X1, big move, pull back to support. I think this one's got a potential balance. It trades a little bit thin at times, so if you're seeing a run in 3D stocks, sometimes triple D is just an easier play because it's more liquid. That's it for now, guys. We had a pretty fun week in the chat room and a lot of stuff going on. Let me know if you guys have any questions. We got a webinar tonight, so we'll see you guys all in 15 minutes. Take care.